Hey everyone, how's it going? Nintendo announces all functioning Wiis will self-destruct in 2023. Yep, that's right. It's hard drive time, baby. Yeah, it's been a while since we've read a satirical article from the mad lads at Hard Drive, but I was in my chair today just beating the snot out of my testicles until they grew to the size of a guava. All of a sudden, I saw a Hard Drive article titled, Nintendo announced all still functioning Wiis will self-destruct in 2023. And as per usual, it made me convulse back and forth in my chair until I started drooling like a raccoon with rabies. Essentially, all Nintendo Wii devices will blow up in 1 year from now, and the idea of that happening is pretty funny to me. So why don't we all just sit back, relax, grab a cup of tears, and let's just dive right into this beautiful article. Redmond, Washington. Nintendo has caused controversy by announcing that any Nintendo Wii that is still in working order will incinerate upon an upcoming date next year. Due to changing standards in the gaming industry and better hardware being available, we think it's best if every single Wii that is still in perfect working order just bursts into flames one day next year, said Doug Bowser, president of Nintendo America, just melting and shooting parts all over across the room. Once we get this new Switch sports game out, we really don't want anyone enjoying a past version of it. I'm sure you understand. You know, it's crazy, but it's not a bad idea on paper. I'm surprised Sony or Microsoft hasn't done this yet. I mean, turning the PlayStation 3 or the Xbox 360 into rubble might be good for the gaming industry. I mean, let's be real, who's gonna go back and play older games? Nobody. It's time to focus on the future. Now, my question for Doug Bowser is that, are you guys going to blow up more consoles besides the Wii, or is the Wii just the only exception to this rule? Because you have all different variants of the Game Boy, you have Nintendo DS systems. I don't know, I figured if you're gonna blow up a Nintendo Wii, you may as well blow up every console ever that predates the Switch that Nintendo has created. The announcement was met with the predictable reception of cynicism that seems to greet most Nintendo news as of late. It's funny because it's true. Why doesn't this surprise me, said Gordon Hall, a concerned Nintendo fan. Between suing fans that make games, stopping Melee tournaments from happening, and shutting down the 3DS and Wii U stores, Nintendo literally seems like it's doing everything it can to alienate every fan of theirs. If they had made 7 of my 10 favorite games, I'd probably stop supporting them. Those absolute bastards. Oh my god, Hard Drive is speaking facts right now. These are things that are actually happening that Nintendo is doing. They're shutting down the 3DS and Wii U store, meaning that a majority of those digital-only games that exist on those stores will just cease to exist unless you emulate them on PC. Nintendo is a very backwards company, and I don't understand how they still even have a fan base. I mean, God forbid I use Pokemon gameplay for my next video and Nintendo just knocks on my door and threatens to put their legal fist into my innocent butthole. Hypothetically, in a world where Nintendo can just outright blow up their old consoles at will, I wouldn't even be surprised by it either. In fact, it probably wouldn't even be the worst thing they've done as a company. In addition to the traditional gaming demographics, the Nintendo Wii's motion controls and recreations of popular sports like bowling and golf made it popular among elderly gamers, a factor many are considering Nintendo to take into consideration before they voluntarily explode any of the 100 million units sold that are still operating. Nintendo doesn't care what we think, said Elena Hacklethorpe, a gaming journalist. Never have, never will. They know what they're doing. They know how many nursing homes still have Wiis installed in rec rooms. If they do what they're threatening to do, their signature bright red logo will no longer remind me of Mario's hat, and instead the blood of my grandparents. Holy shit. As of press time, Nintendo revealed that they were hard at work figuring out how they were going to get you to buy access to Super Mario Bros. 3 for the 6th time. First of all, let's just get rid of the elephant in the room. The blood of my grandparents. Oh my god. Never have I ever seen a very dark line written for a Hard Drive article. That goes deep. Second, could you imagine if Nintendo just grew the biggest balls ever and detonated all of their Wii system? You know, believe it or not, a lot of old people have a Nintendo Wii system. If only old people were the biggest problem on the planet, but unfortunately they're not, so there's really no point in detonating Nintendo Wii systems across the world. I know this is a fake article and everything, but I just would not be surprised if Nintendo did something like this, if they decided to blow up all of their consoles that predate the Nintendo Switch, because Nintendo is a very cheap company. Look, I've used a Switch before. It's a great console. I grew up with Pokemon. I love Pokemon, but in recent years, Nintendo has done some pretty scummy things that make me want to dislike the company more and more. Now, of course, with every Hard Drive article we read, there's always a group of people that just don't understand that the article is supposed to be satirical. So why don't we jump into the comments of this article and see what people are saying? This is so dumb. How could they do something like this? How is this even going to be considered safe? It's not. That's the joke. The article title should have been a dead giveaway. The title is so exaggerated. This is not true. I researched the story and it is not true. Well, I'm glad you found out it's not true, but it pains me a little bit on the inside that you had to Google if Nintendo was going to quite literally explode all of its Nintendo Wii consoles and run the risk of murdering innocent people. Well, if they do that to your product that you own, then they need to refund your money for defective merchandise. The Wii was bought without an expiration date. If they destroy it, isn't that destruction of your property? That's how I see it. So if I can't use mine because they tamper with it to shut down, they need to repay for damages to it plus the accessories and games. Who agrees? I don't agree because it's not real. Little early for April Fool's jokes, don't you think? They do this every fucking day of the year. I was gonna read about 5 more of these comments, but I started to get a headache. My brain just can't comprehend how many stupid people exist on the internet. Let me ask you guys something. If you saw a title of an article that said Nintendo announces all still functioning Nintendo Wiis will self-destruct in 2023, would you believe it to be real or fake? Now read that title again and just imagine you have a Nintendo Wii sitting in your living room. The clock strikes midnight, it's New Year's Day, and your Nintendo Wii just spontaneously combusts in your living room and your whole house burns down. Now just imagine over 100 million Nintendo Wii systems exist out in the wild. All of those are blowing up in people's houses. Do you believe that the article is real? I don't know why I'm getting so mad, but I was literally scrolling for ages underneath this article. There are so many comments questioning the authenticity of this article, getting pissed off at Nintendo, acting like this is real. Now occasionally there are the 1 or 2 comments that say, oh, this is cap, or oh, this is a funny article, or ha ha ha, you know, they get the joke. But seeing the amount of stupid people commenting, asking if this is real, I'm pretty worried about the future of humanity. Anyhow, if you guys enjoyed me getting frustrated over stupid people, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, follow me on all of my social links, enjoy my zesty flaming hot Discord server. Links are in the description below. Have a great day, everyone. And remember that Nintendo isn't going to blow up your Nintendo Wii system.